I'm sure people will jump on here in a couple of minutes. All right, we're now live. All right. All right. Um, well, I don't know where to start, but I think we had some interesting, questions to go over. There's a lot of. I was surprised at all the questions that got thrown at me just by posting. What do people wonder about Bigfoot? Um, and I don't know if I want to get right into that. I know one of the things we could jump into is something I'm going to screen share here very shortly. Of course, the first person to comment under that, my post about asking about what people wonder about Bigfoot, the first question actually came from my mom.
I
um,
saw the name. The last name was the same. I wasn't sure what relation it was.
yeah, that's my mother.
Yeah, buddy.
um, Actually, I'll read it off and then we'll come back to that afterwards. Mom asked, "Where is he?" And then, if he is such a big fellow or gal, how can he hide all the time? So that's something. It's kind of a common question. I see that a lot. I hear that a lot. Um, so I don't know. That's one of the ones we'll come back to. And then, of course, the question of language came up. How do they live, their lifestyle in general, their family, community structure, and their historical roots, their category and relation in general. Yeah, these are good questions right here. And yes, also, what do they do with their dead? That was asked a couple times in here. Um, um, Scott Marlowe asked why so many jerks think it's susceptible to hoax evidence of its existence. I mean, that is a good question because there's a lot of that. Um, All right, the viewers are jumping on right now. That's awesome. But yeah, some of these questions, I want to try to get to some of these. Um, well, everybody, for the viewers, this is something I'm sure a lot of you are probably familiar with this one picture that's floating around Facebook. It's a picture that I've recently shared myself. I'm going to do a screen share so the viewers could see it. And then, we're going to try our best to kind of get into it. I had something I was thinking about this earlier today. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull this picture up. Just bear with me here. I'll screen share it here. Let's see. Hold on. I don't want to do it that way. Let me think of another way I had it pull up. Okay. Let's do this here. Open. All right. Now let me come back to this screen and see if it'll let me pull it up that way. Yeah. No, not exactly, but this will work. It's not letting me click on it to highlight it. What's going on? Oh, yeah, there it is. Let me do it. Um, does that show up on your end,
Yeah,
Shaky, or not?
perfect.
Um, that's
Yep.
right. You're on your tablet, aren't you?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. Good. I didn't.
My
I
phone.
wasn't.
It works
Yeah, I
so much
wasn't. I got you. I wasn't sure if it pulled up on a phone or not. So yeah. So I know viewers. I'm sure take a look at this here. Now, I've this picture alone, I got to thinking about this. You know, I don't know if you even if you want to consider or believe in uh evolution in itself. Many do not, and that's something we're going to try to discuss here, and especially related to this image right here. Let me jump in the live chat just to keep an eye on that as well. So yeah, again, before we get into this, anyone viewing on the live chat, if you're first time or if you're new to watching the live YouTube video or live streaming like we're doing now, if you're on a phone, if you just scroll right below where you're watching, um, you could interact right below. Um, post your questions, comments, etc., etc. Now, if you're on a laptop or a computer, or whatever, if you look over to the right side of your screen, top right hand side, the live chat section will be available right there. So, all right, I'm waiting on that to pull up on my phone. All right, now this raises a good question right here. Of course, it starts off: if the theory of evolution were true, and it's asking, so where are the million of these? We know there's are known primates such as chimpanzees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is the most common popular image of the evolutionary, you know, theory image here, I guess you could call it. We have plenty of these primates that we know that do exist today. All right, let's skip ahead. It's showing a modern human being. Okay, what's portrayed as us people. Now, looking in between, we have is showing how the theory believes how everyone primates evolved gradually up to completely upright. Now we have evidence and fossil record of all the above. All right. Now, question. I mean, it's a simple. I think it's a valid question. I mean, it's where is the evidence of everything in between? Now, there's another image I wish I downloaded to pull up, which I might still be able to pull up. I'll just have to Google it. Now, Shaky, you brought up the question or the point of about the missing link.
Yep.
Now, in regards to the missing link, I know there was a comment that was replied to you. I'm trying to remember the exact comment. Well, actually, wait, it might be right here.
Scott said that they anthropologists don't recognize a missing link anymore, or
Right.
something.
Well, I know this ain't really looking into as far as research, but with the discovery they made just a little over 2 years ago by now, or maybe it was about a year ago. I can't pronounce the name. They found down in a very narrow, deep cave. They came across the remains of what they believe as a ancient relic human hominid, whatever you want to call it, and they actually gave a name to it. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
That wasn't the Lucy that they found in Africa.
What's the name again? Say it again.
Lucy, was it the one they found in Africa?
Yeah, Nadeli. Yeah, it looks like it's.
Or something a while back.
Yeah, let me see if I could. Give me a second. I might be able to pull that up. Because it's kind of relating to what we're sharing right here. Okay. Basically, what I did, I Googled missing link found, and I'll show you what I came up with, and this is what was found. What displays? Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see if I could enlarge that bigger before I share it. Which the name, I'll tell you, is about to pop up here. All right, because there's an article or a blog or under a scientific news, science news. It's the title called "Mind Blown: Is Human Ancestor Discovery the Longest Sought Missing Link?" It's Homo naledi. Scientists discover new members of a human family tree. Okay. I know here's the image right here. Yeah, because what they did a reconstruction of what Homo naledi is believed to have looked like. Of course, keep in mind, believed to have looked like. This may not be accurate. That's another thing we got to keep in mind. All right. Now let me try to pull up and do a screen share. If it shows, lets me do it that way. Yes, perfect. It's letting me. All right. Now this one here. Are we? I'm sure you've seen this one around, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now I believe this is relating back to the image I just shared. Looking back, see, this was their idea of the in between. Um, Now I have a theory on this here. Now this is their put together, their reconstruction of what they believed. Of course, believing is not always accurate information, and they feel pretty definite about this. My thoughts on this, personally, and just in my opinion, this is just my opinion. If this was accurate, let's just kind of fancy the thought. If this was accurate of what was back, question is, how do we know? All right, how do we know that people like this were not already like this, or this just happened to be one image out of a bunch? As far as I can recall, as far as I'm concerned, I believe humans were always humans. Everything was always what it was. There is some species I could tell you, and there is some species that are known to evolve, but that's getting into aquatic animals, amphibians, so forth. Um, but now something like this here, this is you know, of course, anyone who believes in the evolutionary theory is going to jump on this and go with it. It's easy for them to go with it because it's what evolution has actually always pretty much, uh, the theory or thoughts have always taught. Um, Now, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Shaky? Do you believe
It,
this could? Oh, go
that
ahead.
could be a subspecies. It could be a subspecies. That doesn't mean that was a human or that thing there. It looks like a monkey to me. You go back in the BC era, everything was huge.
Right,
Mastodons, mammoths were huge. Everything was big. It had to be big to survive, and including apes. So you had Gigantopithecus, and then if these things were a type of chimpanzee back in, they could have been the size of a man, and it's just a
right,
subspecies of an ape. I mean, it doesn't mean that it was human or we even came from that.
right. Um, yeah, I agree with you because I mean, this, and I kind of brought this up to you the other day. This is another thing I consider too. I mean, here we are. Everyone in the United States, ancestor. We most of us come from other countries and lands. Italy, France, etc. Ireland, and then you have African Americans. But let's look at those that are in Africa now. The tribes, even back then, black people, have different features. We do look different. We stand apart. Color is not, color is one thing, but everybody has different features, different, styles. Even Hispanics. It's one thing. We're not all the same. We're not. We didn't evolve to be this way. It's just this way we were. The way, if you, for those who believe in creation, and taught in Bible, this is what was brought of us and made of us. But as far as everybody who they are now, or what was, if you go back ancestors, as far as ancestors go, uh, I mean, look at even what's the Russian woman? Do you remember her name? The one they believed it was the one that was a wild woman over in Russia.
Yeah, I forgot her name, but I know what you're talking about. They just did a DNA test on one of her offspring or something.
Right.
Yeah,
and and her herself, come to find out, she was an African woman. She was of African descent.
yeah.
You know, she was just a woman that was very, that, I don't know if it was. She must have been out there for quite some time, from since her young youth, to become wild. You know. Um, I've heard the story. I can't remember much of it. I don't know so much. I've kind of backed off on, but yeah, she was of African descent. Uh, every species, oh, not species. Well, yeah, you could say species, but every species, we all have different, you know, features and structures of us. All right, let me pull up the live chat here. Let's see. Um, oh, hold on. There's people there. All right. Oh, well, we're glad to be back too, Amanda. She said, Amanda Burns said, I miss you all so much. Awesome.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she's from Ireland. Yeah.
That's cool.
Say, oh, we got let's see, saber-toothed tiger skull was found in a cave 45 miles from here. Oh, nice. That was a Woolly Burger, which is Nincompoop. I forgot. I keep forgetting he's under a different name. Oh, Amanda said I found elk's antlers in a quarry in Ireland 15 years ago, and we haven't had them for 45,000 years. I gave it to the Ulster Museum.
Hmm. That's cool.
That is awesome. Ah, it's amazing. There's discoveries all over the world. There's things that are still hiding from us that people are just, coming out about. But
You ever watch that show? What the hell is the ones they gold mine up there in the Yukon? Gold Rush.
oh,
You ever
I
watch that?
have.
That last season they dug up a mammoth tusk.
Well, now wait a minute. Wasn't that in? Hold on. I've seen that. But wasn't that in Michigan, upstate
No, no,
Michigan?
it was up in Alaska. They were mining up in Alaska and they were stripping off the last piece they had to strip, and they said it was a sign of good luck. They dug up it was a mammoth tusk.
Okay, I've seen that. That's been all. Yeah, I've seen that. That was all over social media. Well, as far as different scientific news and discovery posts. But one thing that kind of blew me. You think that would be a little bit more worldwide? Does it come across that? I mean, that's actually. I know we have structures of that. I mean, skeletal, reconstructions of, mammoths, like in the, different museums and stuff. But that's to me, that's kind of a big thing, to find stuff like that. Um, but yeah, in Alaska, yeah, I mean that makes sense to be in Alaska. Would you believe that there's at one time there was evidence of palm trees in Alaska?
Well, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it's yeah part of. I came across that information in back in some of my earlier research and studies I've done. As far as it kind of gives you an idea of the different climates we actually that we had in colder climate, because we all know Alaska, majority of the time it stays pretty cool in most of Alaska. Depends, especially if uh, what is it? Was it? Yeah, I could be getting a little bit of that mixed up because Antarctica, they've.
Yeah.
I could be thinking of that, but I'm pretty sure it was Alaska. And let's see, what's the other thing I was going to bring up? I brought this up before too. For and this kind of goes for a lot of the non-believers. A lot of people don't know this information, but a lot of primates were actually native to the United States. Well, long before it was known as it became the United States. But there's been primate fossils. There's fossil records of small primates that were found in the state of Texas, in the deserts. You know, um, well, for one thing, we know Texas is a pretty warm climate. Uh, yeah, especially in the desert. um,
Arizona has a lot of fossils
what's that? Oh, Arizona. Yeah,
in Nevada and all that.
yeah. Wasn't there also some of our dinosaur remains or evidence of dinosaurs? I think were found around New Mexico.
Yep.
Yeah, Arizona. Yep. And like they actually have old fossilized footprints. You know, Um, I can't recall where. This is just random thinking right here because it's kind of popping in my head as I'm speaking. But uh, there was a large humanoid footprint fossilized in stone. Uh, I can't remember where that was found, but that was a very. I recall. I know. All I know it was very large.
Yeah,
uh,
that last picture you showed of that of whatever the hell that thing's supposed to be, the a monkey to me, but you know, for how long did we have a dinosaur hanging in a museum that had the bones from three different dinosaurs in it because the scientists didn't know how to put it together or knew the bones went together? You know, there was a
right.
dinosaur that they put together wrong, and it was in a museum for years, and I don't know
Wow.
if they changed it or not. And they later found out that it wasn't even right.
Oh
So
man. Yeah, it's funny. Science makes mistakes. A lot of
yeah,
a lot of people don't realize that. That's another thing. I brought that up before because a decent, respectable scientist will be honest and tell you that they make mistakes. They're not always correct, and people don't realize that because there's people that worship science. There's people that live by science. Everything by science, but it's so much error and so much flaw inside science. I'm not saying science is completely wrong. I mean, they are right, and they've by science, a lot of good has come out of science, and we have today's technology from science, so that's a good thing. um, I think a lot of people hear me talk about science the way I do, and they misunderstand it. It's an honest statement to say that science is not perfect, so people got to keep that in mind too. um, tell you what, I think everyone's ready for some other for us to get into actual questions. Let me pull them back up. And hmm, well, let's start off with my mother's question. All right, where is he? Okay, I've been asked this numerous times. I'll read the rest of her question. She's got kind of a couple questions on this. Where is he? And then she goes on to say, if he is such a big fellow or gal, how can he hide all the time? All right. Well, first of all, where is he? Deep in the woods, in his natural environment. Um, but all right, I'll let you jump on this next one. If somebody, all right, with this question, how can he hide all the time? Or you could kind of recap on the other question. I'm just going to throw in small bits and pieces in, but the questions are, yeah, where is he, and how can he hide all the time?
he's wherever he wants to be. Really, I mean, he as long as there's a food source, water source, and and coverage. Summer is a lot better for them because I can walk into the woods here in West Virginia, walk 10 feet in the woods, and I'll disappear.
Right.
I'll just disappear. It's I don't care how big of an animal is. If you got thick foliage, you won't see them. They'll
Oh
blend
yeah.
in. And then in the wintertime, if they're not moving about and they are not as active in the winter, and you go into the woods, they can get behind a tree or behind rocks, or even just lay down, and you would probably never see them because if they're brown, they blend in with the leaves on the ground or whatever. They got natural camouflage.
Right.
You know,
I don't know if you recall. Do you recall that I did it in two parts when I uploaded it. It was me and Dad, part one, and I think it was part two. Me and Dad being out because I think in part one, if you watched my YouTube video upload, I think it was me and Dad part one, exploring or whatever. Well, there was one scene where I was just recording. We were on one trail and we were kind of in a slight clearing. But after we turned around, when Dad started headed back, when I turned around and kind of was panning towards his direction. He was on the trail, but he was walking away from me. And I noticed as I was watching him through the camera, he was already. I saw him moving and walking, but right then at that distance, because he actually, we both had camo on, our camo clothes on. But when I was watching him, and this is on a clear part of the path, and you can still see the silhouette. He became so blended in where I was like, wow, it literally looked like he was what people call cloaked. But the way the light was hitting it at and everything was blending in all naturally, all the green foliage of the leaves and his surroundings. I saw him still moving, but yet he became invisible.
Oh.
And I was like, hopefully people were taking notice of what I was trying to show in that video clipping. Because when I come across odd things like that, it'll make me think of something that's very commonly brought up and talked about. But yeah, he was literally blended in, and that's not our natural environment, not the way we were raised. But we have our camouflage clothes that we had on was pretty much mossy oak pretty much colors, and real tree or whatever, and everything was bright green, but yet he still blended in, and I saw him moving. It's just the way the light reflects, and just the natural blend that he had, that appearance of naturalness. And but yeah, I we could walk in the woods and Bigfoot could be, they could be right there where we will not know it. That's how natural it is for them. Just like deer, and I've said this a million times. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be so close to deer in the woods, and by the time you notice them, they're already taken off, and you realize how close they were. I never seen them. It's just they're in their natural environment. They blend in so natural. Deer don't cloak, but yet sometimes we could be staring in a field and they blend in. Um, Now I believe it's very possible with black bear, but depending on time of year, you might be seeing them, especially if you're seeing them around the late fall where most of the leaves are gone. I mean, in the forest, it's actually more open. Um, I believe you can see them like that. Um, Black bear to me, they stood out to me pretty much when I've seen them. They always stand out during the summer and spring times. They're so jet black, from their appearance. But um, but yeah. So
When,
yeah,
you
I'm
were a
sorry. Go
kid,
ahead.
when you were a kid, did you ever go to the zoo and
Oh
you go
yeah.
to an exhibit and you're like, where's the animal at? And then somebody will say, they'll have to point at it. It's right there. Look. And then by the time you realize it's right there in front of you,
Yup.
but it blended in so well with its natural surroundings that you never saw it. And I've done that more than once, gone to a zoo and looked at an exhibit like, where the hell's that animal at? And then somebody will say, look right there. You see it? It just moved. Oh yeah, there you go. It's crazy.
Yeah, especially like, well, I'll use a snake for example too. Snakes are, oh man, they are awful though. Yeah, I mean, I've I'm always watching on the ground. For one thing, especially if I'm Bigfoot and I'm looking on the ground for tracks. But sometimes I've got to keep snakes in mind too. Snakes blend in so well. But especially around logs or rocks. Rocks is a good one. Where they blend in. And
Copper.
oh yeah, I
I mean,
almost stepped on. Yeah, I think it was a couple years ago. I almost stepped on one. Man, that little sucker. It was a young one too. But by the time I stepped back, I mean, I was stepping up and I looked down. What caught my eye is he coiled back. He got in that strike position, and I jumped back a good 2 feet, and I was watching him. He was dead still. So I left him alone. I mean, I walked way around him, and I got out of the area because did didn't know if there was any more around. But uh, um, before I go on to the next question, let me jump on the live chat because I'm missing the live chat. I was actually looking at my screen share.
field day on that sucker.
Let's see here. I gotta. I'm refreshing my live chat here because I know there's several. There's more people have been jumping on here. Oh no! Don't tell me error occurred. Refresh. I hate when that happens.
Er, er,
Yeah. All right. Let's try this again. Um, if I can't, for some reason, if it's gonna act stupid on me, I will go back to the questions and jump on the live chat afterwards because this is not working right now. What? All right. Um. Meanwhile, while I'm trying to work on that, here's another. Here's another good question. The question is, what is Bigfoot? I'll let you take it away on that one.
to me, um,
Yeah.
it's a subspecies of an ape. It's some kind of subspecies of an ape. It's a gorilla. It's an ape or whatever. It's just a unknown primate that hasn't been discovered yet. It has the ability to stay hidden without being detected. Without the encounters we've had, personal encounters. But it's been smart enough or intelligent enough to stay away.
Right. Yeah. Um. Because as far as Bigfoot goes, yeah, I do class. Well, it's not safe for me to classify it, but in my opinion, I classify it as a undiscovered ape primate of some sort. Why do I do that? Um, a simple. I do comparisons, and everyone knows this. Comparisons to what are, what's common related occurrences that many people witness and observe. Uh, and there's a history of these common observations. I'll just name a few. People hear whoops or whooping. All right. Different whales and unknown familiar howls. Um, tree knocking. Tree knocking is a real good one. That is a very good one. Um, now you got to ask yourself. People got to ask yourself what is known, what is common, what is known among us in today's world that does the same behavior. Okay, humans don't do this. You know, uh, I mean, cavemen didn't grow up in the woods banging on trees and you know doing whoops. As far as we know, they didn't. There's no record of them behaving like that. But there is a known species, and that is our known primates. Now, to clarify this, for anyone who wants to twist my words around, I'm not saying Bigfoot is a known primate. No, I am not saying that. I've had people try to twist my words around and say that I'm calling them a known primate. No, they are not. But their behaviors are common and known and related to our known primates. So please understand what I'm trying to say on that. For the viewers. So that's something I think we need to consider. Do a little bit more in-depth research. You're not going to learn about unknown primates in our own forest. You're not going to get a complete understanding of them in captivity, like in a zoo. You need to do your research. People you need. I'll recommend Jane Goodall, Ian Redman, and there's a few more I have listed elsewhere, but I've done some research and studies on with their observations in the field with their habituation work. These are common behaviors. And a primatologist that has actually studied and observed gorillas and chimpanzees in the wild, especially a gorilla. They're one of the largest known primates. in the jungles, and these creatures could be 10 feet in front of you and walk in, just walk behind the foliage and be gone, be out of sight. And that's how gifted these creatures are. Is it the hair that's on them that gives it uh, that natural invisibility, blending in with their natural environment? Um, Shaky, I can't think of that. It's not on my brain right now. Do you know what I'm referring to? That type of hair? I'm
You
not
talking
saying
translucent?
translucent. Yeah, I'm not saying they are, but I think with natural lighting, the proper lighting, and mixed with their environment, I mean that's what gives them that gift. I mean, it's a natural thing for them how they just naturally disappear and blend in.
Let me ask you a question, Daniel. All
Yeah, I'll try my
right.
best to answer it.
Answer this question. What colors or what color do you hear Bigfoot being?
A lot of times it's either black, uh,
Okay.
or a dark brown, reddish brown. They're your main common ones.
Okay. Or
So,
even blonde, even hear blonde ones.
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now
absolutely,
answer this question, Daniel.
yeah.
What color is a military truck? The camouflage on it.
Oh yeah, camouflage. Yeah, like green, like
Black,
army.
brown. It's tan. It's the same. It's the same colors.
Ah, I see where you go with this. Good. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's the same colors. Think about it. It's that reddish brown tint or that rust color. You got the black. I've even heard these things described as looking greenish color. People thought maybe there was moss on them or something. But I mean, if you listen to all these eyewitnesses describe the colors, the same colors as you is camouflage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um. All right, we got a guy on Facebook. He's listening in. He didn't comment under the live chat. If he did, I don't know because I can't get onto the live chat right now. But I'm waiting on a response because Gary Johnson Sr. said, "Sorry, he's not an ape or human." So I asked him. I said, "Well, what is he to you?" So as soon as he replies, I'll get back to everybody with that.
Please,
Because so we have another declared um, expert in the field here. Um,
please.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is no expert in the field of Bigfoot.
No.
Everything is all observations, speculation. There's no facts about Bigfoot. Everything I'm right now presenting, do not get it wrong. It's observations in comparison. So that's that's all I have to say about that. Oh man. All right. All right, I got my YouTube thing on, but now it's froze up on me on my phone. Ah, there it goes. Hold on. Oh, YouTube isn't responding. Do you want to close it? No, I'll wait. It's better to wait. Excuse me. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. Please pop up. It looks like it's gonna work.
Oh, shoot.
No, an error occurred. You son of.
I don't think I can get on the chat either.
Oh, we got more viewers popping up too. I could see that through the computer. I'm trying to use my phone. Tell you what I'm gonna have to do. I might have to turn my phone off and then back on. Um, all right. Alrighty. Okay. Let me see if I can view through another way here, which I'm not. I hope this does not mess me up.
We probably got people fussing us out and we can't even hear it.
I know. Ah, here we go. Da, 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 da. See if it'll let me. Yeah, now I'm looking at the live chat here. Uh, all right. Da, 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 da. I heard the one. Let me go back here. Man, a bunch of people started saying stuff here.
Bet.
Good golly. Let me. I'm going all the way back here. I don't know where to start here. Um,
Start when they're speaking nice about us, not when they're mean to us.
oh, Buck Nye is on here. Yes, Buck Nye. Hello, guys. Just stopping in quick, making dinner. You guys all have a great night. Awesome. Nikki said, "Howdy, y'all." Nigga Poop said, "La bread topics in California." Hey, Nikki. Amanda Burns says, "Hi, Buck. It's bedtime, and also I'm listening with a glass of wine, thinking Cleopatra." That's funny. I hope all's doing well tonight. Nigga Poop science equals witchcraft. That's pretty good. Uh, um, see, act. That's the reason. Again, I'm good. I don't know. Question. Here, guys. Will I have any luck while I'm in Langley next year? Langley.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not sure where that's at. um, let's see. In my opinion, Nincompoop said, in my opinion, most sightings are misidentifying. Nikki says, I agree. I guess it's relating to some what we were discussing earlier. I'm just reading comments right now. Elusive yet easy to pattern, contradiction. Um, let's see. Nikki, where are you? And have you seen a boogie? I'm from Northern Arizona, but live in El Paso, Texas right now. Uh, and Nikki said, no, I've never seen one. She's. I'm trying to go in here. See what. I'm trying to get to the stuff here. Amanda Burns says, I heard the ones in Canada are a bit nasty. Am I right? Well, it depends. That's actually a good question. According
Yeah.
to according to Native American legends, just speaking off of the legends based off of the Micmac Indians, they, according to ancient history, they've been known to be cannibalistic, kidnapping, uh, young women and children. I know other legends speak on that. Um,
I
let's see.
think it goes like any animal. I think any. I've had dogs that were nice, and I've had dogs that were mean.
Oh
I've
yeah,
had bulls. When we had cows, I've had bulls that were nice, and I had bulls that would kill you if they had the chance. It's you could have a nice cat or a mean cat. I think it's just the way their demeanor is. I think it's just that individual. Its own its own characteristics, its own thing. Either they are nice or they're not. But
yeah,
I think you have both in anything like that.
yeah,
I've heard Texas had bad ones, but then I've heard Texas had they weren't bad. I think you can have bad in anything. It's just like humans do. You know,
right.
I think it all depends on each uh individual itself. I think it depends on that individual.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Dave Stump's here. Awesome. Great to have you. Amanda Burns is asking, does the EC Bureau have a T-shirt? But you are, I don't know. She says, but you lot are my favorite. You all are my favorite. I don't know. I guess that's what she means. Um, we do not currently have a T-shirt out. I am actually working in the works of trying to create an online store with my different designs that I do have created to set to where people can buy them at their own pace. Because the only time I set T-shirts up are usually through fundraisers, and it doesn't work out most of the time because you need to have a certain amount of them sold in order for the process to go through. And if not enough are sold, then whoever did put in to buy one usually gets automatically reimbursed, and nobody gets nothing. So it's a hit and miss. It's not guaranteed, but I do have T-shirts and designs you could buy outright right now, but they are. I'll be honest with you, they're very expensive. I wouldn't buy them the way I have set up right now through the company. I've been researching others, so I'm in the work. That's in the works. So I'm working on that. um, let me see. Oh, we got. All right. Here we go. What are we? No, I read your comments there, Amanda Burns. No, I'm not mad because you accidentally called me Matt Moneymaker. She said, no, because I'll read what she originally wrote. Is when I was talking about the Neanderthals banging on wood. She was saying, all right, all right, this is coming from Amanda Burns. She said, "LOL, I had to have a wee laugh at Matt about Neanderthals not knocking on wood over here. They used to knock on bin lids." And then she goes on to say, underneath that, she says, "I just called Matt. I'm so dead." And then she said, "I can't believe I just did that. Though I'm a great granny and my brain's gone fuzzy lately. My excuse, LOL."
She can call you Matt all day long. Day she calls me Bobo. It's game on.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like,
Oh, she said I meant Matt from the Outlaws. Yeah.
uh,
Oh, okay. You talking about wait the Outlaws? Not talking about Matt Damon, are you? I don't know.
shit.
Boy, tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, let me get on to another question here. We got more questions. Yeah. um. The one I saw. All right. Well, Gary, Mr. Johnson responded to my question because I asked him. I said, "What is ETU?" He said, "The one I saw, it had hollowed out eyes, cone-shaped head. Could not see his mouth or ears or nose with tassel, black in color and very, very huge. I would say a Bigfoot demon or some kind of spirit."
Here we go.
It scared the hell out of you.
People,
Well,
these things are not demons. They're not little magical creatures riding unicorns. They're freaking flesh and blood animals. Come on.
and the imagination could run wild. I can understand the fear, especially if you have a view of them at night. Because there's some records where people have sightings at night, and depends on where you're at. If people are seeing them at night, they are just it can be a freaky thing. But I'll tell you the encounter that few of us had a couple years back. I don't know. Maybe it was because there was six of us all together. I didn't feel there was no fear whatsoever. We were all excited. So I mean, I think it depends on the situation. Now there was one situation I've had. Yeah, there was one situation I had. I didn't see nothing, but what I heard walk away from me, very close, in the just inside the woods. Uh, I can honestly tell you without doubt, it was not a bear. I mean, what other animal will exist in the woods that's much larger than a bear, and every step it takes is like a crunch of thunder. I mean, literally. You know, I know maybe that term sounds exaggerating, but it was not a bear. I can tell you that. um,
I think your body tells you your senses. Even living in the city all your life, I think your senses come back to you. If you feel like something is watching you, usually something's watching you. If you have that feeling of worry and feel like you're in danger, you need to
right.
be looking around because I'm telling you, you are an animal. You are an animal, and you have those senses. All animals
Yeah.
have those senses, and you need to trust them.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, let's see. Let me see what else we got here. Uh, the ones where screens are hollow. Um, and Gary said something about it's the one to where it screams or hollers and talks at the end of it. Okay. Hmm, interesting. Let me get back to the questions here. Yeah, because there was questions here. We're actually trying our best to address them. Um, Okay. Here's a good question from Miss Deborah Hatswell, all the way out of the UK. Deborah, she's asking what do they call themselves? Well, I could let me respond with that one with a question back. What do deer and bear call themselves? They can't. We're we're the ones who give them these names.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I can see if you're relating this question to if you believe they are a type of people or a human. There's many people that do believe that theory. Again, it's only a theory. Um, you know, many of us believe otherwise. But what do you have to say about that, Shaky?
I've never seen a Sasquatch school. I didn't know. They went to school to learn any languages or anything. It's a separation of what separates human and animal. I don't think they have the thought process to sit there and think, "What am I?" You know,
Yeah,
what do I call myself? Ugh. I don't know. I just don't think it's not something that's processed in their brain. I don't think their brains are capable of processing
yeah,
that kind of thing. I don't see it.
right. Um, real quick, is everyone hearing me okay, including you, Shaky? Reason I'm okay. Reason I'm asking because Dave Stump says I'm just getting bits and pieces of my Dan's conversation, so I don't know if he.
Because you're out there in that damn log cabin with that crappy ass internet
uh,
signal.
oh my.
I'm messing with it. Don't cuss me out too bad.
I don't know. I'll keep eye on the live chat, see if Dave says anything to that.
Now, he'll be out in a minute.
um, salutations to all. Hi, Stephen Strings. Um, someone.
Oh, Stevie here.
Yeah. Why? Do you know him?
Yeah, that's Stacy Brown's guitar player.
Oh, okay, okay. Ah,
And
yeah. The Big Bad Wolves. They are an awesome band. I love that music, man. Stacy Brown and the Big Bad Wolves.
badass, and he goes out researching with Stacy. Man, they found some kick-ass tracks, man. Here a while back, they posted. It was really some good shit.
That is awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Hmm. Well, here's another question. This is following right after Deborah Hatzwell's question. She asked again what they call themselves. All right, Nigel Roberts is asking. I'm gonna let you jump on this one too, Shaky. What do they think of us?
What do they think
Well,
of us?
well,
Well, they like any other animal, they probably see us as a. I'm not gonna say see us as they. Some may see us as prey. I don't think they see us as a predator per se. Maybe, but I think they see us as something they need to watch it when we're in the woods.
right,
I think they're very curious about what we're doing, but yeah, I believe some of them see us as prey. And uh, I guess it all depends. But
right,
I think they have a very high curiosity towards us.
yeah. Yeah, just like many other animals, deer, and or any other, bears, or any other wildlife that's natural to the environment. I believe it's their instinct. Well, I don't know if you mentioned this or you have before. Part of their instinct, taking caution because we are not natural to their environment. So yeah, like you stated, we pretty much are possibly a threat to them. So
I don't
uh,
think they have. I don't think they have the capability to think to the point where, hey, here comes one of them hairless apes, man. We gotta watch out for them boys. They ain't right, or whatever. You
right,
know, I don't to that extreme of thinking. But I think they see us in the woods and they're very curious as what we're doing, and their natural instinct is to hide and observe
right,
or get the hell away from us.
right.
But
Um, all right, hold on. Okay, I'm just checking on something. Now, here's a good question right here. This is something we've discussed before, and I'll go ahead and start off on this one. And what I have to say, I believe, is safe to say. But then again, it's not proven. Depends on who you might ask if it's fact or speculation. But the question is by Wendy Fick if they do in fact they wonder, or she's wondering, do they in fact have a defined language? Uh, the only thing I can go off of this one here is, according to a recording studied by Scott Nelson, um, what he picked up was a, a language based off of what's the right word I'm trying to think of, um, syllables that were nothing known, not known. It was a language not known of any sort, of any kind, of anything known as far as human wise. Uh, so, uh, you know, there was. I guess what he basically he did a paper. He kind of broke things down on a paper. I don't have it right offhand. Yeah, Nick, you're right. Basically, it was a type of babble, gibberish, broken up syllables using. I can't recall. I haven't looked at that in a long time, but yeah, I think it's safe to say they do have a language. I don't know. Maybe I almost feel kind of funny saying that much, but um, because it's something that's not proving. There's no documentation of it, as far as being solid proof. As far as any solid proof related to Bigfoot, now depending on who we're discussing this with, we got to back up when we're talking about um, evidence related to Bigfoot or anything that's known about Bigfoot. We got to consider the scientific world because which at the same time, in my opinion, we really shouldn't. But because if we have to depend on science to tell us it's real, then then we got to dismiss our own encounters and sightings, which is BS, right? um, but now as far as kind of I was just trying to make a little statement point on that, um, but I don't know. My opinion is I believe they do have a language, but again, according to Scott Nelson, what he studied and analyzed is nothing known. But I don't know. What's your take on that, Shaky?
Oh boy! All right. Uh, all animals have a language of some kind. Like I've said in the past, if they didn't, a duck call wouldn't work, or a goose call wouldn't work, or whatever. There has to be some kind of a language there. I believe they have
Right.
a basic language. I believe they have a basic way of communicating for trouble, for food, for water, whatever. Just basic things that they know what it means. If a stranger walks into the woods, I think they know how to knock on a tree to make everybody aware something's not right. Or to that effect. Can they sit down and have a conversation between each other? I don't think so. These things they don't go to school. I don't believe they learn English. I don't believe they learn any Chinese. I don't believe they learn any kind of Indian language, Native American. I think that these things have a basic way to communicate for basic things, and
Right.
that's how they survive. I just don't see them having the comprehension to have they're not going to sit down in front of a campfire and, hey, what did you do today, Sam? Oh, I chased three does down the road and we caught one of them. And, I don't see. I just I think they know how to communicate to get basic things done,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Hmm. Um. Okay. Actually, those are questions I've had screen shared, but I'm going. I mean, I took snapshots of. Um. I'm trying to go back to see other questions that were newer that I missed. Um. Hmm. All right. Let's see if we could jump on this one here. All right. Miss Amy Ratcliffe is asking, can they see in the infrared spectrums? Seems as though they can. and it would explain trail cameras being messed up with or messed with. Um, well, honestly, from my observations, from my trail cam photos that I've been using trail camera for the last 3.5 years, and I've had deer and bears observe my trail cameras. That's well, actually, let me uh, 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 explain that a little bit. Actually, the one I have two trail cameras. One uses infrared, the other does not. Now, the one that uses infrared, uh, a lot of animals, like especially deer and bear, both observe them. Uh, because the infrared does glow. I mean, we can see that with our own naked eye. If you walk in front of a trail camera, regardless if it's if it's a little dark, if it's not enough lighting, yeah, you can see it. Especially at dark, if it's dark and you walk by a trail camera and you're looking at it, you're gonna see the infrared. The infrared does show. I know it does on mine. But on my other Browning trail camera, it has an invisible flash. It does not. Uh, so, oh, here's a question from Steven Strings. Mr. Benoit, how many do you think exist in North America? And ask Shaky what he thinks. That is a very good question. As far as population goes, wow. You know what? I can't really, I don't really know how to come back on that one, except for the fact that you could almost get a rough estimation based off of sightings, and if those sightings are accurate, um, based off of what's being cited on the West Coast to the Midwest and here on the East Coast. Um, because yeah, I've been picking up a lot of reports between recently up to the last 3 years. Reports have been growing just you know in my general location and throughout the state of Virginia alone. That's not counting what other people are sharing outside the state. Roadside, anywhere from road sightings to sightings on their own properties or hiking in the national forest, and so forth. Um, I really don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to really respond with a estimation of number wise. Um, but whew, I don't know. That's a tough one as far as giving it. As far as how many do you think exist, but Um, I believe it's more than what's estimated. I mean, what people realize, especially here on the West Coast. I mean, excuse me, East Coast. I'm not in the West Coast. Never been out there. Um, I do believe there is a fairly decent number. Are they as common as black bear? And we have a lot of black bear here in Virginia. We do. Um, I don't believe they're completely as you know common as black bear, but yet at the same time, I'm wondering maybe they can be because they're so elusive. They stay hidden so well. We don't know the clans and groups they may have. I believe they possess families. So there's and bears don't travel as family units unless it's a mother bear with cubs. So, um,
Well, there's enough
but
of them that they're reproducing without causing any defects. You're not finding any strange anomalies in the footprints or anything. So,
yeah,
I don't know. But that's where you could get a mean one from. You could get a mean one from genetics from one that's inbred, and that's where you get a nasty mean one from. So
right.
you know it's hard to say.
Oh yeah. Let me jump back. See if I get back on the live chat through my phone. I'd rather look at it through the phone because I'm actually on a separate screen right now on my computer looking at the live chat. Uh, Let's see. Uh, Apparently, because the live chat that I'm looking at through on the computer, someone says, "Oh no, maybe it's just Amanda." She said, "My chat's coming up a few seconds behind."
Well,
Sometimes it does that. Yeah, sometimes it does that to me. But so, um, all right. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna turn my phone off and then back on. See if that helps me any. But before I do that, let me get to another question here. Um, here's an interesting one. Why don't they like cameras? Okay, kind of that could be. It's just my response to that is if they don't like cameras, well, we don't know if they like them or not. But it is a foreign object in the forest that doesn't belong there. I've had a bear rip off my trail camera off the tree before. Um, so I think it's something that don't belong there, especially the bear that took that ripped mine off. I believe it was a mother bear because in one of my images while that happened, there was some young bear cubs. So I believe it was a foreign object that it irritated the mother. I guess she was being protective.
What does
So,
what does that camera look like strapped on a tree? It either looks like a bird house or a bird feeder,
yeah,
and they're famous for tearing up bird feeders to get that seed. You
right.
know, it's hard to say what they think that damn thing is. To them, they may think it's food. There's some food in
Yeah.
it.
Hmm. Um. Okay. Stephen String's reply because I guess referring to his question as far as how many does it I think exist. He was saying I've heard from 15. Yeah, he's from other different researchers in the Bigfoot community. He's heard anywhere from 1,500 to 5,000.
I'm sure it's
But
more than that.
yeah, well, with that being said, yeah, I actually have to agree with you there because, like I said, I can't give a number, but I do believe that population is much larger. Yes, because just imagine. I mean, I come across tracks a lot, big and small, and and the small ones, I know the difference. Again, I know the difference between bears. I'm not seeing bear tracks. I do see bear tracks, but you know, as far as humanoid BAR BARE tracks, not BEAR tracks. Um, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I think my research area, especially my new one, that's blowing my mind right now because I believe there is a large population in there. Either that or the ones that are there are just very active. Um, I mean, I don't know. It just I found big and small tracks in there. But in my other previous research area, that's I've been researching and observing for a long for the last so many years is just I've come across several in there. And then over in the other location, which was classified as Fred Canny's research area, I found evidence over there myself. Not as many, not as much as I do in my area, but there is evidence there in Fred's research area. But I guess maybe it depends on terrain too. Terrain plays a big key role of leaving tracks anywhere. But um, so yeah, I just so I don't know if I had to estimate. Oh man, I don't know. I don't like doing this, but I think in the state of Virginia alone, people are going to probably call him crazy. I don't know, but I'm going to guess there's probably a minimum of 1,000. I know I'm laughing at myself for saying that, but I feel it's almost safe to say that there could be at least almost 1,000 squatches here in Virginia.
You think about this. Now they've never had the sightings in Hawaii, but let's just say there's 50 states,
Right,
and you have 100 in each state.
right.
5,000, right? Was that 500?
Oh,
That's five.
what? Wait. How many in?
50, 50 times 100.
Oh, 50 times. Yeah, that's yeah.
That's
Um,
5,000.
right. So, all right. You said 50. Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you have 100 in each state, just 100 in each state. Now we're not talking about going out west where it's really now. The East Coast may not have that many. It may have 1,000 or so up and down the East Coast. They may be more spread out because it's more
Right.
populated. But you go out west where you got the Rockies and all that open training, and up through Alaska, it could be a hell of a lot more up in there.
Yeah, wow, yeah, they are so remote up there, big time.
So you know, you do have a healthy breeding population of them. So I'm going to say if at more than 5,000, I'm going to say between 5,000 and 25,000.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm going to guess that thinking about how much area there is and whatnot, and how often you have an encounter, So
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. So, let me think for a second. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Well, wait, how many were you estimating per state?
I was saying if you had 100 in a state.
Oh, 100 in a state. Okay.
Yeah. See, if you took a state, because you think the majority of them are going to live in the forest that are national forests or whatever, where people aren't going in to build. The majority of them are going to populate into thick forest down into thick forest. I mean, you got them crazy people got them in their backyards in some places, but
Yeah.
I mean, even at 100 of them in each state, you've got a and you need more than that to populate. You have to get a healthy population. You probably need about 200 to 300.
Right.
For a healthy population.
Right.
So I
Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. Hold on. Hold on. Maybe I'll come back to it in a second. It was actually something I wanted to say about that first image we shared at the beginning of the podcast. All right. For those who recall, and you too, Shaky. All right. Just in that photo, the illustration it showed. All right. You got, it starts off with like the chimpanzee in the beginning, and then you got the middle section of the alleged gradual evolve into to the modern human. Well, okay, you just say for the record that you got that middle section here. If some might believe that, okay, some of them are still left that way, and think, and some might relate that to Bigfoot. I personally can't say that at all, because with all the, if that was the average, they started off small and whatever, and gradually got bigger. What's that?
More taller than the man at the end.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So eventually they gradually became upright, and became your average, say, even a 6 foot human. So I mean, but big, everyone's having these sightings claiming, anywhere from 7 to 10 foot tall, subjects here. So I don't see how any of them were, could be a responsibility, responsible for that. I mean, what people are seeing are giants, Um, I mean,
And
there's some,
they have to be to
huh?
survive. They have to be.
Oh yeah, right,
I mean, to live where grizzlies live, you have to be bigger than the grizzly. Unless you got a tool like we have guns to protect ourselves. If you're living in the wild where grizzlies live, you got to be bigger than that grizzly to survive, and that explains why they're so big.
right. I'm gonna refresh my phone here. Okay. Uh, yeah, because I'll, yeah, for the
Can
new
you hear?
viewer that jumped on,
Can you hear that?
we were discussing this earlier. I'm
Damn,
sorry, come
can
again?
you hear this? Hold on a minute. See if you can hear this. Listen, see if it does it again. Damn. Of course, I want somebody here that won't do it. All right.
All right, what was it?
It was a whoop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was right down. It wasn't far from here.
That is awesome.
It did it twice, and I was like, I thought I was hearing things. I had to take the damn earphone out. And sure as shit, it was a whoop the second one, but that was it. It was two whoops.
That's awesome. All right, I'm turning my phone back on.
I'm sorry. Damn.
Hmm, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I get the live chat back on my phone, because That way, I think I can get more accurate, up to date. I don't know. I think I was doing all right on what I was looking through the computer here. I was trying to stay on top of with everybody here. Uh, let's see. Let's see if you they don't. Okay. Uh, oh, Amanda was asking a wolf or a whoop. Yeah, he said a whoop. He heard
It was a it wasn't like an hour. It was a whoop whoop.
a. That's awesome though.
Damn. Hmm.
Let's see here. All right, let's see if YouTube's going to work this time. All right. David Parker. I was missing some of the conversation on the live chat because David Parker was talking about some of the activity he gets around his area. Because it sounds like he has some close interactions with them, and he says I could call them in and they will get close. And he said they love maple flavored bacon.
And the problem is, if you're making sounds to them, you don't know what you're saying to them. So why are they coming in close? Are you saying that you relations, or
Right.
you know, you better be careful what you say.
Let's see here. All right. David Parker says they peek in the windows a lot.
Yeah, now he's got peeping toms.
Hey, David Parker, you need to try to, if that's the case, you need to try to catch them off guard and just take pictures of them. Or
What you need to do is, if you got a certain one that they're coming up to, get an old VHS, an old video camera. None of that infrared crap. Get one of them old video cameras and set it up, so that it won't. There's nothing there for them to get spooked by.
yeah. Or the other thing too is, some people you could get those wireless, um, night vision cameras, security cameras, and have one angled down towards your window from the overhang, or from your house. Wow. Just aiming it right down in the angle in front of your window. That could be a possibility or something to try. Let's see. Oh, Amanda Burns says, here's a good question. Are they all meat eaters or vegetarian? She said, I don't mind going to the vegetarian a lot. Yeah. David Parker, you're right. I agree with you. David Parker says excuse me, omnivores. Yeah, just like a lot of our known primates and a lot of species today, a lot of them are. Um, they eat both meat and vegetation.
They're opportunists. They
Yeah.
get whatever they can get.
Yep. Bears are the same way. Bears are scavengers, but they eat both vegetation and meat. But of course, on a bear, if you some people do compare them to bear with their diet. But a bear, if you're going to do that, you got to understand a bear's diet is like 80% vegetation, versus the other 20% in meat.
Up here, they
It,
eat a lot of chickens, and they eat fish. They ain't got no problem eating fish and chicken. So
oh yeah. David Parker also said in the state of Missouri is full of them. He said it must be well over 100 just in my county. I had signs all over the place. Hmm. Interesting. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of signs are you referring to? So,
the more we encroach, the more we're going to run into them.
mm-hmm. That's why a lot of that's why I've talked about habituation in the past. If people don't understand what habituation really is, I mean, they could cause a problem. Not just with any known species, especially bears or any other wildlife. If you start leaving food out, you're going to cause a potential hazard for you and the species that might be enjoying that food. Um, um, so, but then again, you don't know if these animals have allergic reaction. So that's something else you got to consider too. A lot of people like, I know we've talked about this before. People like putting peanut butter out. I've done it before. I'm guilty of it myself. I cannot, I'm not going to hide that. I'm guilty of it myself. And the thing is, bears, people don't realize, oh man, a squatch took you see it? No, but it disappeared. Bears are common for this. Bears love peanut butter. Um, yeah, I've actually had a bear on one of my trail cameras, taking the peanut butter that I smudged around on a couple of the limbs nearby, and the bear actually had the jar of peanut butter in his mouth as he was running away. Yeah, so, but
Raccoons, possums, anything like that will eat that.
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, and yeah, and here's another one too. People will go out in the woods, take a jar of peanut butter that has a screw-on lid. All right, they claim they're showing, even though they're holding the jar up in the air. If the Squatch is watching, they're gonna say, "All right, look, I'm putting the lid on. I'm screwing it on. Shows I'm taking it off." But they leave the lid back on. They put the lid on. Say they do it tight. They leave it in place. Now, raccoons, they eat all kinds of junk. They eat all kinds of garbage. I mean, whatever. I mean, if you're living in town, raccoons come into town. They get into the dumpsters. The raccoons eat trash just like bears do. But people don't realize, raccoons got little hands, but they're very strong. Uh, they have the capability of doing this. Also, if you leave a can of, I don't know, anything, corn that, you know, it requires a can opener to open it up, a raccoon will open that with his bare hands. People don't realize that, what they're capable of. Again, something small like a raccoon is very capable of opening this up.
A bear can open a jar of peanut butter.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
They put their paws and put on the jar, and they put the top in their mouth, and
Yeah,
they with their paws. They don't need a thumb. They spin it.
right.
I mean, it's
Mm.
not rocket science. I mean, just because something can be done doesn't mean everything's a squatch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm touching back on the live chat. David Parker is also talking about some of he brought up the subject of tracks. He said the biggest prints we found were 31 and a half inches long. That's a record breaker right there. Because I mean, the biggest I've ever seen, I think, from that was cast, it was what, 24 inches, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, I think, because I think Dan Baker, him and his team, um, have I could be wrong, but I want to say they have a 24-inch track.
So
Maybe I'm getting him confused with someone else, but yeah.
that's another question because Shaquille O'Neal is 7 foot, 7 foot what, 7'2", and he's got
Oh
a
yeah,
24 size 24 shoe.
right.
I mean, that's really not that far fetched.
Yeah. So yeah, that I can see that making sense.
When these
Well,
people
my
15 feet tall, then I start really wondering. I don't see that.
yeah. Do you have you seen my recent tracks that I posted before?
Yeah, I
The
saw. No, I did. Yeah.
the last two biggest ones. Now, I did not have a tape measure on me, but if you watched in the video of the one I found on the forest road, with the mud puddle next to it, well, if you watched what I did with my knife, all right, the knife I use that as scale. That knife there is 14 inches from the bottom of the handle to the tip of the blade, 14 inches. All right. The way I did it, if for those who are not familiar with it, it's one of my recent videos, not my most recent one, but I use my knife as scale on the one track, and see 14 inches plus take the other half, the remainder of the blade itself. Take the 14 plus the blade alone. So 14 plus 11. It was well, it was close. It wasn't the complete length of the blade. It was pretty much. It was close. Yeah, I estimated that track to be 22 inches, just off the scale measurement I did. Now, maybe that's not completely accurate, but that's my estimation on it. 22 inches. Um, Now, I should have thrown a tape measure on it, but so
Did
hold
somebody
on.
say something about earlier? Did somebody say something about one of the tracks not being deep enough for something?
Oh yes, thanks for bringing that up. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm glad you did because I totally forgot all about that. All right. Now, yeah, you were. I want you to jump in on this because you had something to say, and what you shared with me, I did not know this, and I'll make a statement on that after you say it. Because a couple people had brought up that they found strange that all right, my most recent track, the track with the mud, all right, with the water sitting in it. All right, some people were saying, well, what was odd or strange about that was, okay, looking at the track through the picture, it was not a deep impression. Okay, which I do and I'll acknowledge it. It wasn't a deep. It was probably maybe no more than an inch or so, if that. But one person, this is the statement I said to somebody. I said, okay, well, keep this in mind. This is something you got to think about on that track. I wasn't aware, I don't know how long that track was there. I estimated it was very fresh. Now, however, it was been raining the last 2.5 to 3 days, and it was raining the day I found it.
Well, it
All
had
right,
been raining, it collected water.
right. Well, this is what got me. Did the rain dilute some of the details? Did the rain, in the water, maybe, blend into soil? Did it become almost filled in? Because I think that's a lot of tracks. I found old weathered tracks before where you don't get much detail out of them, very little toes, if that. But the thing is, I was pretty impressed showing that it had enough detail to show, hey kid, this is a actual foot here. It showed the toes, the shape of the foot, and everything. But yet, going back to the impression, the depth of the impression, um, you know, that's what I brought that up. I was actually a buddy of mine asked me about that earlier today, and a buddy of mine at work he asked about that, and that's what I told him. I said, well, I said, Michael, I just think about this. Pretty much what I just said. Think about when it was first made. Okay, in the rain. We don't know when it was made. And as far as we don't know what the rain did to it. You know, um, So then again, like I said, I'm not saying it was made then and there. If that was a track that was made right then and there, and I just missed it, it should have been deeper if it was just made. So, but now, when I was talking to you about this earlier, Shaky, now you brought something up that I did not know nothing about, and I'll let you kind of take it from there.
That track was on a road too, right?
The one from the weekend before, that one there was not on a road. It was in the woods. It wasn't far from camp, but it was like kind of like in a I don't know how you. It's part. Yeah, it was in the woods, of course, but it was not on the road. It was in
And
a
how, and how long had it been before it rained? We didn't have rain for a while, right?
well, when the day I went out there, it was raining, but I know it was raining the last day and a half, a couple days before that.
What I'm saying is, all right, you have two things could go on here. First of all, what you have is surface mud.
Right.
The very top has gotten wet and muddy. The inch down, the ground is still very hard and solid. The subject steps down on the ground. He's hitting hard ground only an inch down, so he's not going to leave a deep imprint. All right. Second thing you have is something called low ground pressure. Put on a pair of snowshoes. You go out in the snow and you go to walk, you sink. You put on snowshoes, you stay on top of the snow. If these things have a big wide foot, they have the capability of staying on top. It's like tracks on a machine. If machines are made with like dozers are made with these real wide tracks, so it doesn't sink in the mud. It can actually float across the top of the mud. Same with dump truck tires or concrete truck. If you ever look at the front tires, some of them have real wide tires. Those are called floaters. They're made
Right.
at the top of the mud, not to sink in the mud. So you're talking about a flat foot that's really big. That's almost like a paddle. I mean, this thing. So it's not putting a lot of pressure on the ground. It's spread out.
Right.
It wouldn't sink. It's just that's where I got the low ground pressure from. It's not a lot of pressure being put on one point. It's spread out because of the size of the foot.
Right. David Parker sent me a on my Facebook. He sent me an audio. He's asking, "Can you identify this call?" I don't know if he'll let me do this, but I'm going to try to play it. Let me know if you guys can hear it once it starts. Oh wow! Hold on.
Mm,
Wait a minute. Let me pause this. Can you guys hear that?
I can't.
Okay. I'm listening to it. I don't know if anyone else can, but um,
Maybe because you have headphones, and I don't know.
uh, uh, I'm gonna have to listen to that through my audio analyzer. I have software I can put that through. I I'm gonna be honest. What I heard in there, I heard an owl in there. I heard some kind of whooping in there. That whooping was a little. I don't know how you gonna say it. It was like it sounded coyote. It sounded more like a coyote, but um, and then it sounded like there was some heavy breathing. But I
Mm,
don't know if that was David Parker holding the audio recording or what. But there was a lot of nighttime sounds there. Like I said, I heard the owl a couple times in that, but it was I have to listen to it again. It was real loud and bass, sound bassy in my headphones. So yeah, but that was very interesting.
well,
Uh, it was interesting. I got to give him that. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, because what made me say it sounded like coyotes? I've heard a number of coyotes, and I have coyote calls. And when the pack starts up, it depends how spread out they are. If the pack ain't together, some of them start yipping. When a coyote starts yipping, like short little uh, barks, they do have a distinct sound, which almost sounds like a whoop. Because those whoops don't sound like the ones I've heard or from other people, but I can't say because I wasn't there to hear in person. So, but through the audio that I was listening to, that was very interesting. But I can't rule out coyotes on that one. And then again, I heard owls a couple times in that. So, but that was pretty good though. I mean, um, hmm. Trying to think here.
no offense, but that's why it's very important to get very familiar with your local wildlife and the sounds
Yeah,
that it's
absolutely.
very important.
Um, hmm. Why well, everything pop up my phone? Time to home, 26 minutes. I'm already home. I have this thing on Google. It automatically shows 2 minutes delay, whatever time to.
You're
Usually it
stuck
has
in
a
a traffic
different.
and know it.
um. Oh, all right. Hold off here. Dan Baker commented under my post.
And the man.
Let's see. What's it? All right. I think he's responding to somebody else. Uh, hmm. Hold on, let's see. What are they? All right. Here's some other questions. Tony Burke saying, "What are they thinking?" Deborah Little says, "If they have a keen sense of smell, I believe they do. That's why they hide so well." James Florence says, "Strength." He's always wanted to know, wondered about their strength to body size ratio. Mike Young says, "Why no bodies? Why no orphan children wandering out of the forest?" Then Dan Baker says, "Genetic makeup." Hmm. Genetic makeup. I believe he starts. I think you're referring to their. I could be wrong. Their DNA or their. I believe that could be. Uh, Look at that. Let me go to. You could see this here. He shared a picture. He has it outlined. It's a track print on his deck, and I'm gonna pull that up here. He has an outline with string. Oh, there it
Dan,
is, right there. Yeah. Um.
keep
Yeah.
talking. I'll be right back in a minute.
Oh, you're fine. I'm gonna do a screen share here, and this is David Parker's. He says it's a young female that was on his deck. That is interesting. For the viewers, yeah, this is from David Parker. It's a you can see the track. He has he has outlined with some string or a shoelace. It looks it's bigger than the ruler, so we're looking at about a good 13 inches. Hmm. That's pretty good, David. That's pretty good. Yeah, if that's authentic, yeah, that's I like that. I'm gonna leave that on there so Shaky could see it. Shaky had to step away for a second, so but I am gonna leave that up. Thanks for sharing that, David. Um, Let me get back to the live chat. It looks like I need to refresh the live chat. All right. Oh, hold on. There we go. All right. Everyone, bear with me here while until I get back to the live chat. And for viewers, if you're new to viewing this channel, um, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. That way you can stay up to date with us when we go live. And for the record, while we have a number of people on here, I do want to mention tomorrow night, at 10 p.m., we got a 2-hour radio show. That's right. Squatch Zone Radio will be live. Starting. We have two guests. We have Mr. Buck Nye and Mr. Zach Sterick tomorrow night. So that's a 2-hour show. So hopefully you guys could tune in on Squatch Zone Radio. If you go to blogtalkradio.com, you can find us that way by entering in Squatch Zone Radio. So check that out. But Shaky, this is a footprint that was that David Parker shared. That was on his deck. Um,
That's a 12-inch ruler there.
yeah, so it looks like we're looking about 13. Just judging from the track, the marking of the track, where it looks like where the big toe is, because the big toe does look like it sticks up a little bit.
Well, 14
So
inches.
yeah, at least about 13, 14, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And let's see.
Now, I'm not
Hold on.
trying to cause you any issues or anything, but why did it leave a wet or print like that there, and only one?
You know what that is that is a a good question there. Um, yeah, David Parker, if you're listening to what Shaky had asked, I mean that is a very legit question as far as yeah, was there only that one track there, or was there more than one? Because I mean, what was the ground like? What's the ground and like around your house? Because apparently it left a dirty or possibly what looks like almost a damp or wet track. So that is a good question. I mean, I can understand because I know I found single tracks before on the ground, but not like that. Uh, so listen, yep, I'm trying to look. See, my live chat actually just refreshed, so now I'm going back trying to make sure I didn't miss nothing. Hey, Sam Deloach is here. What's up, Sam Deloach?
Sam the
Uh,
man.
yeah.
Sam the
Uh,
Roach. This is for Roach.
David Parker said, leaving out raw eggs is a good way to tell if Bigfoot took it or a critter got it. The critters will eat on the spot and you will find eggshells. But when Bigfoot takes it, you will find no eggshells.
I beg to differ.
Because what if an animal took it in his mouth and went away with it?
Yes. Or a black snake come along and ate it. I
Oh, there you go. Yeah, any snake for that matter.
beg to differ on that.
Or a raccoon. Yeah, raccoon.
They will carry food off. They have no problem carrying, and they will find a rock to beat that egg against and get it out somewhere else.
Yep. That's something, yeah. Um, you know,
Same way.
yeah, so that's something you got to consider too. You got to be careful with assumptions. So yeah, we're not we're not trying to pick on nobody, but we're just trying to present some logical possibilities to consider.
I'm not trying. He's right. I'm not. I'm definitely not trying to. I just want your eyes to be open to every possibility. See, my philosophy is for you all that don't know me. My philosophy is I want to rule out everything it can be before I even think about what it to be.
Yeah,
From the brain, you got to rule out every possibility of what it could have done it or what could cause it or what it is. You have to rule it all out before you can even think squash. Because
yeah,
then you rule everything out, then you have a better chance of proving your evidence to being legit and truthful. And I'm saying anybody does anything mischievous or deliberate. It's just things happen.
right,
The community is full of people that will tear you apart in a minute. There are some mean, nasty people in this community, and that's just the way it is.
he sent another picture right here too. This here is actually a bent over, what appears to be a bent over tree. I've done a field video with some logical explanations on some of these. Um, and here it is. Now, this is one thing about bent trees, because I can't get a full, complete observation of this unless I was there examining the whole thing. But this is something I pointed out in one of my field videos. So when I was over in, it was in between where I'm at now, between there and another location. But um, I come across a lot of bent over and bent trees. Um, there is bent over trees that you could, if you study and observe the branches and the limbs that branch off of them, you study and observe the direction they're grown and facing out of them. Because a lot of trees have been bent over for a period of time. Um, you know, if they've been like that since they were a young sapling, their tree limbs, their limbs and branches will actually grow straight up in the air. Um, also, a tree that's been forced over, you will see some. Sometimes you might see some stretching in the fibers. Also, the end of the tree will be stabbed into the ground. Um, some of that is also another thing we got to consider is bears. Depending on the size of the tree, bears could climb up a tree. By the time they get to the top, if that tree is a light tree, if it's not a big tree, their weight is going to bring it over. They're going to ride that tree down from their weight. Um, you know, but however, the trees I like to know that I like to see that are completely stabbed in the ground. I've seen the ends of the trees stabbed into the ground like so many inches. Um, so there's some simple things. Some trees actually grow bent over. But what I look for, what gets me excited is if the end of the tree is actually pushed, or not pushed, but forced into the ground. Where you literally have to like pull it out and get it, take it down that way.
So
Because
behind that little tree, you see how it's bending on its own back there, and it bends off to the same way, but it doesn't go over as far.
oh wait a minute, I think I see what you. Let me get on the other screen so I
Look
can
at the
pull it up.
base. Look at the base of the tree that's arched. Where you're go to the right. Go to the right. Go to the right. Now go up.
Oh,
Right
you talking about this one
there. Yeah. See
back
how that?
here?
Yeah. Look how that tree bends and still grows up, but it's bending the same way.
Yeah,
So
right. I see what you're saying.
the same way there as that little one. You see what I mean? Something's going on there that's causing.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now that I'm actually on this screen here, you see where my mouse is. I am noticing that this limb here does reach the ground, and I can't see it completely, but it does look like it might be stabbed in the ground right there, which tells me it's been forced that way. But then again, yeah, I can't see it for sure, but it does almost look that way. But yeah, a lot of trees do grow this way though. Except if they grow that way, they're not gonna be stabbed in the ground. Um, a lot of trees get bent over from. Um,
Nature, bears. There's a lot of things behind it.
oh, absolutely. Um, Now I have what the other thing that interests me is bent over trees with other formations connected or surrounding them that don't appear to be natural. That's the thing I notice when my observation with a lot of structures. I know I post a lot of pictures of different things that look odd. Of course, a lot of the things, and I tell people too in videos when I share a lot of my structures and stuff, and formations in videos that I believe bears are a big response. They are a big part of what's being made out in the woods. Not saying they're all from bears, but there is some that it does appear to where it takes hands to do some of them. But um, I've seen big trees that have been broke and bent over with big twists in them. But I point that out with a logical point of view too, where trees, if they've been bent over and brought down from weight and force, and they have a twist in them, if a bear's up in a tree and the tree breaks and is breaking over, depending on the angle of the position of the tree, if the bear is still clinged on or hanging or dangling, you got to consider weight and momentum. Weight and momentum with a drop or fall of a tree could cause a lot of twists too.
Is that
Um,
if you can hear me, if you're on there, is that a swampy or wet area?
you know, it's a good question. That almost looks like that. Let me get back into the live chat because he's. Hold on. Let me. I got to refresh my live chat here. Um, because I know he sent me some more things too. I'm gonna get to them in a second. I'm just trying to look at the live chat. Um, well, let me see what else he's got here. Wait, what in the world is this?
Shoot,
All right.
we don't went from circles to string.
um,
I'm just messing. It's a joke.
I know. I see what he's trying to share. I mean, but you know, that's the thing. I got to the point where I kind of stopped taking pictures of impressions because I mean, this may look different. What he outlined right here, it may be totally noticeable in person, but and
I see.
what's that?
I see where a small deer, I see where a small deer laid down. Its ass end was up this end where it's wider, and it folded its legs up, and the head of it was down where the heel, past the heel of the shoe.
He did say this was. Yeah, it could be a young fawn because he said this was 24 inches long.
That's what I see. I see where a deer laid down, a small deer, a fawn laid down, and I'm not. I'm not trying to ruin anybody's day. It's just I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat
Right. Yeah. So this is a different angle of it.
it. Bigfoot lost his shoe.
I don't know. Judging from that side of the shoe, it looks like Littlefoot.
Grass is to get any kind of impression out of because it just moves so much. It's not going to
Right.
hold the form. So
Let's see. Hold on here. Oh, all right.
legendary foot too.
All right. Here we go. This picture shows, Sam Deloach says this picture shows absolutely nothing.
I, I I swear I'm not trying to be mean. It's just grass is just something you can't work with. It moves around too much. Wind could have blown that grass around. I don't know, man. I don't.
Yeah. You know what, Sam? I'm actually looking back through the live chat and referring to the picture. Sam actually made a good statement here. I agree with him too. Um, he said these trees are looking for sunlight.
Yeah.
So that's a good statement there. Oh, here's another one. See, even as I step, even as I look away from the screen, like if there was an impression there, I can't really make that out. Um,
You know, I can't. I just can't do it with grass.
because the pictures don't always do justice. I've learned that from my own pictures. I mean, I try to share stuff from but
Oh, and
yeah,
I'll tell you something I noticed with the camera phone too. If you're using your phone on your camera phone, when you take
yeah,
a picture, you could be right up on it. Man, once you take that picture, it looks like it's 100 miles away.
right,
It looks like it's totally different than what you see. It looks much smaller.
yeah. Oh yeah. Sam said, "I wish I had service to get on the show tonight."
No, we don't want you, Sam.
Well, Sam, hopefully, you and the rest of the viewers tonight could tune in tomorrow night on Squatch Zone Radio. Um, yeah, if you guys could tune in tomorrow, please feel free to tune in to Squatch Zone Radio. The link is shared, and I will reshare it. And if you see it shared, share it yourself. We have two guests on tomorrow night. We will be live 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be a 2-hour show. Um, and then everyone, bear with me. I'm going to jump back to Facebook. Mr. Stevie Strings is sharing some pictures with me here. These are some prints from most recent.
Oh yeah, it must be something. These are good.
Yeah, let me pull this up on the screen share here for everybody.
I think they had
There we
actually,
go.
Stevie. I'm not sure, but didn't y'all actually have an encounter with the thing that left those footprints that evening? If I remember hearing correctly, I thought you had an encounter with that subject.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's from
yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, these look pretty cool, man.
That one all the way
They
up, that
definitely.
looks badass. That the dark color one all the way to the left.
Yeah, I noticed that one.
Yeah, that thing's got
These
some.
look like. Yeah, they definitely look like they belong to a possible skunk ape. Yeah, pretty cool. Hold on, he sent some more here. Let me see what else I got here. Uh, see, hold on. Ah, see now, look how big that is.
The tracker him.
Oh, the track.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Stevie. Don't get mad at me. I'm just kidding. I'm patty myself. See.
See, now that he's holding the track, you could actually get a
Isn't
rough
that pretty
scale on
cool?
it.
Look at the
Yeah,
toes, man. Look at the toes on that.
those are big boy toes right there, and you can see the ball of the foot right here too.
Yeah, that's a badass
So
there.
that is awesome.
A lot of people don't like Stacy for some reason. I guess he's radical, but I love the work he does because when he does something, he gets some good shit.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Man, this fool gonna get together one night. We're gonna get drinking and play some music. I can see it's gonna happen. Florida.
Let's see. Let's see. There was a new question added to my posted. William Schermerhorn. How he always wondered how nobody until recently had ever videoed hummingbirds mating, yet Bigfoot can't exist. Okay.
Did he say hummingbirds?
Yeah. Let me yeah.
Probably didn't have a camera with a shutter speed fast enough.
Right. Yeah. Good question.
Gee, them things are like little bullets.
Yeah. I tried taking a picture of a bullet. Yeah. Not saying that fast, but still,
I mean, to catch them actually doing it in the wild, I mean, you'd have to be at the right place, the right time, perfect everything. I mean,
Mhm.
just something would you just have to get lucky,
Right.
lucky. Hell.
Yeah. There was another question there I overlooked too. I'm trying to pick up and or address every question. Is I probably, like I said, I'm sorry if I missed any of them, but uh, Louis Crone was asking why no one found the body yet. There was other questions similar to that too. I didn't ask because that's relating to one of the other questions is why no bodies or do they bury the dead? And again, he's asking why has no one found a body yet?
I
Uh,
have two theories on that. I
yeah.
think I think in some cases they do bury the dead, and I think
Hmm.
in some cases they eat their dead too, depending on the type of season, if the how plentiful of food they have, or if it's a rival group, a rival clan. If they, chimpanzees are known to eat 80% of their diet is other monkeys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
These things were called cannibals for a reason. It may not be because they ate Indians and the Native Americans. It could be because Native Americans saw them kill each other or something.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Uh, Based off of whatever species got to do to survive on their own. I mean, shoot, rabbits been known to be cannibalistic. They'll eat the runts. I've seen it for myself as a young child. We used to have rabbits and chickens and horses, et cetera, et cetera. But um, I mean, that's another thing. A body hasn't been found, even though we got people researching and exploring. I mean, you know, the people that go into depth, in deep forests and stuff, deep terrain. I mean, these are people that are set out exploring, for hiking and everything. I don't honestly believe we have people out there scoring the grounds, and looking, you know, yeah, we've had people that've been research that discovered caves and everything. There's been some discoveries in caves, like old bear bones and stuff like that. Um, you know, there's caves that we don't know that may exist, and people. That's another thing I just mentioned about bears. There's been discovery of bones of bears in caves because it's not common for us to find, the remains of a dead bear. Um,
7 days, that body's gone.
yep. So that's another thing we got to consider too is them possibly knowing their time of death. They know when they're ill. A lot of animals do. A cat knows when they're ill and time is death is near. They will go wander off and bed down in hiding.
Elephants. Elephants.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Yep. So people don't realize if a human is if a human is sick and ill in the hospital or whatever, we know our time is near. Maybe on the other hand, some don't. But um, that there's a lot of little things I think it's safe to consider. You know, like Shaky mentioned, they could be cannibalistic. Bones get scattered and hidden where they hide in caves and um, But that's another thing people got to ask themselves when it comes to the body, and this goes especially towards the skeptic or non-believer. Okay, a body hasn't been found. Well, how many bodies? And I'm going to bring this up again because I just kind of brushed up on this. But how many bodies of bears have people found in the woods that died of natural causes? You know, that is very rare. You don't hear people finding bodies of a bear.
Not
You
of
really
natural
don't.
causes.
Exactly.
You may come across a kill site,
Right.
or you may come across where hunters drop something off, but to find one that actually died on its own of old age, it's unheard
Yep.
of.
Exactly. That would be it. If I came across that. Now, I do have a skull of a bear I found out in the woods, and it was a skull of a bear. There was part of the vertebrae and everything there. Now, I get to think about that. That was pretty deep in the woods, but was that a shot or was that a kill from a hunter where the bear wandered off and survived so far and then died from a possible wound? I don't know, but I still found the skull of a bear, and I do have that. I shared that before, but that's something I got to consider. I don't know if it was, but it was found pretty deep. But I thought that was fortunate. I think it would be a blessing to find more of a bear. But so yeah, that's a big thing that people can consider. Bears, even though they're seen in the wild, crossing roads, getting in dumpsters, get out in the woods and try to see one. I've been seeing a lot of bears lately. Bears are very active this time of year because the weather's getting colder and they're going to start scavenging a lot more too. So
People posting pictures of bears on Facebook and arguing about it being a Bigfoot and say, "Oh no, look at it, it's definitely a primate." Well, let me tell you something. Up in Alaska, the police are called constantly from them people finding remains where hunters dropped off remains on the side of the road, and somebody will come along and think it's a human because if you strip their hands down and everything, their paws down, they actually look just like our.
oh
You can't
oh
tell them,
my, yep.
and so the anatomy is the same as a primate, to be honest. So, but people put these pictures that are definitely bears, and argue with me if you want. Jacob's photograph is one right there. There's a
Yep.
picture of a bear. It's been blown way out of proportion.
Actually, you just made me think of something. Let me see if I can pull up my trail cam photo. They should be on here. Give me a second here. I might get lucky and pull them up. I think I downloaded them all to my. I'm pretty sure I downloaded them to my computer.
Posted a picture of a paw, or sorry, it was a hand they had found to cover it with hair, but it was a black bear paw. It was
Yeah, I remember that.
skin on it, and I had to take a picture of one and put next to it and say, "And look how," I said, "Now look at it. It was identical. I mean, it really looked almost identical." And I was like, "That's a black bear paw that's been skinned."
Yeah. Where's my photos? I know I got them here somewhere. Where the heck are they? Please say that I haven't downloaded here. I could have sworn I downloaded them. Boo boo. Maybe they're under there. I have so many things. I have stuff shared under.
I'll tell you what's going to make my day is when the body finally does turn up and they say, "No, it's not a human. No, it's not a primate. It's a freaking bear."
Yep.
It'd be hilarious.
Open. Oh no! Come on. Where's my trip? Oh, maybe it's under this. No, where is it at? I know I got him here somewhere. Where's my bear photo? I'm trying to find one of my most recent bear photos so I can pull it
You
up.
just showed me one not long ago. It had the same stance as the Jacobs photo, and it was spot on bear. I
Ye-
mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out. Yeah, I'm going through them now. I gotta before I pull it up. Uh,
go.
Let me back up here. Maybe it was this one here.
It's a
No.
beautiful night. It's 40 degrees out here, and I'm in a t-shirt.
No, these are. Oh, I gotta go way ahead. These are my old trail cam photos from just a few months back. I got a lot of deer here. I got tons of deer. Here we go. We're getting there. There's my black bear. All right, I'm gonna try to. Hopefully, it'll let me pull this up. Let me see if I can enlarge the screen. Yes, indeed. Awesome. Now let's see if it's gonna be cool enough to let me screen share it. No, you bastard. It's not showing me the option to do it.
Looks like a whole suck of a whole room full of oxygen just went down there just then.
Hold on. I'm gonna find something here. Let me go back and I
You
might be
sound
able to
like
pull. What's that?
you sound like me when I was on my honeymoon. Just hold on.
I know if there's a will, there's a way.
That's what I told her.
Oh crap! It's under all this mess here.
What the hell just popped out at you?
Pretty sure it was that one there.
Oh God! Please be a naked woman. Please be a naked woman.
Do you see a picture popping up right now?
I'm yawning. No, I just see a bunch of words in a line.
You still don't see it?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, because I'm looking right at it. I got it pulled up right now.
White screen.
Oh, never mind. I canceled it out. That's man. You know what? Why didn't I not think about it? I'll have to take it, save. I could post it. I know how to do it. I want to pull this up for everybody so bad.
And then there was the picture from down there in Virginia. And I swear I got into an argument with this over a woman. You wouldn't believe it was the bear's butt facing the camera, and the bear was facing uphill eating trash or something. And
Really?
she was arguing with me that this was a Sasquatch facing the camera.
Oh man.
I said that little nub is his nose. God help me.
What's wrong?
Just some people have squatch on the brain so bad they just don't want to hear it. It is what it is in their eyes, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. I wanted to share this. What I wanted to do was I was hoping to screen share this whole thing because as I could click through it, I could show the bear by clicking through it fast enough. You could see the bear in motion because on my trail camera, this is my Browning trail camera, and you can see how it's in the position it gets. Social networks. Yeah, I want social network. Oh, I don't have nothing set up on my computer like that. Crap. Let me try something else. Let me enlarge it, and I will do a. See if it'll let me do.
I hate computers.
I know. Okay, I did a screenshot of it through my computer. So let's try this. Let me go to Facebook. See if it'll let me do this. That should be an. Oh me, oh my. Oh, the pull up a screenshot. I can go under.
Dan Baker posted something.
What's that?
Dan Baker posted something about clowns coming out the night before Halloween. I sent him a nice picture.
Oh yeah.
Then yeah, it was the barrel into my Glock. Come on, clowns.
All right, here it is. I did it through my. I had to take the picture, screen share it, put it onto my paint thing, and there it is, right there. Let me
Hey, there you go. There you go, right there. That's it. Look at that. And that's a Jacob's photograph with a hairier bear.
I had the bear. Like I said, I wish I could view it the way I wanted to, where I could show it in motion approaching to that spot right there.
Yep.
But you can see how the back leg is extended out into position, flat-footed like this. You know, you can see the left leg, right leg. The right leg is extended out just like the Jacobs photo. And if you look on the top over there by that tree where its head's stuck down, you can see the hump on the
Mm-hmm.
back of the head. You know, of course, you can't see the head because of the leaf, well, the branch is in the way. So,
I can see
but
his ear. I can see his ear and his snout. It's right against the ground down at the base of that tree.
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah, yeah. I know there's much bigger bears in this area. I just I just haven't captured them yet. I have seen big. I have seen very large bear tracks in that area. The bears I know are large there. Um, I'm just glad I haven't encountered no big black bear around there. But I'm just curious to see. I'm trying to refresh the live chat. But yeah, this is a black bear that I captured on my trail cam photo. I have the other images before this of him or her approaching this position right here. As and one more step as that back leg joins the other legs. So he just scavenging around, blah blah blah. So, but am I?
yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's the Jacobs photo there,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
So you know, I don't. There's gonna be some people that's still not gonna believe it. They're gonna try to come up and justify something for another thing, you know. But yeah, if people take a look at the Jacobs photo and take this photo and compare the legs, the positioning. Um, so um, hold on, underweight bears. Yeah, Sam said that's an underweight bear there. Well, I believe it's just a young bear. I believe it's a young bear, but it's a little bit more full. I have seen real skinny bears, but this bear here, it looks healthier than the Jacobs photo bear. uh, so, see, Nincompoop says, "Yay, our team won. It's a bear." I love that, man. Oh shit. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. All right, let me stop screen sharing this here. Again, this is black bear caught on my trail camera from last weekend, and I did a comparison on one of my videos. I did a webcast video with a Jacobs photo and my photo beside each other, and other related bear pictures that were very similar to the Jacobs photos, but they were bear. Other trail cam photos that didn't belong to me, but I shared them on with a comparison. But this is my bear. You saw the Jacobs photo. You see this bear with all the same features. Blah blah blah. So let me get this and let me go see what Stevie's sharing. Stevie's sharing some more photos for us. Um,
I hope it ain't him dressed up as a clown.
now you got a couple more track photos here. Awesome looking here too. Let me pull this one up and do a screen share. Bam. There we go. Present to everyone.
Wow.
Here we go.
Look, it's giving us the middle toe.
Yeah, that middle toe does kind of protrude out of there a little bit, huh?
Now is that his
Wow.
$5? Is that Stacy's $5? Because if it's Stacy's, I hope Stevie picked it up, put it in his pocket.
That $5 bill is fresh looking. It's awful crisp looking. Must have just came out of the ATM. Let me go back under where I got that one, close that one out, and pull up the other one he's got right below that. Here's the other one right here. Here's a track of stuff. Mm. Yeah, look, you can see the the outside, or that might be the inside.
Look, that's not deep. You know, that doesn't look very deep to me. I mean, it's an inch or two
And
down, but it's not deep.
right, and thing is, judging by the soil, it looks kind of. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It looks like what?
It's like clay.
clay or possibly maybe sand. And some of it looks like it could be a mixture. Like some of it looks like sand.
Me.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. That's pretty good. Yeah. Thank you, Stevie, man, for sharing that, man. That is awesome.
You gotta get him on the show one night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some,
I'd rather hear about the adventures of Stevie and Stacy than I would Rick and Biff.
you know what? Looking at Stevie's looking at his profile picture, I would hate to see that out in the woods.
Is it him dressed up as the reject, the Devil's Reject clown playing the guitar?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right here. Hold on. From the Big Bad Wolves, Mr. Stevie Strings. Boom.
Devil's Reject.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I keep telling you he's related to Gigi Allen. That's the punk history of back in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, those two images we shared, yeah, those were cast. It showed the both cast and uncasted prints from their last outing. So that's what he said.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Steve, for sharing that. That was awesome. Always love having photos shared. Yeah. Um. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, back to the photo. I was of the bear I was showing. Yeah, Ningapoop said, yeah, bear can pretty much do what cat, humans, and a dog can do. Yes, indeed. Their body positions are they're actually kind of flexible to a certain extent too. Um, and then Stevie String says, Doctor Sights bear yeti. Yeah. Yeah. Steven was also saying he said he's in movie films too.
Yeah. I think he's done some indie films. I think is what he told me or I read somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell you what, a lot of viewers haven't seen none of my recent track photos. I'm gonna try to see if I can pull a couple of them up and share them real quick too, since we're doing screen shares. Let me go into my photos. Um, I want which were albums? Which one's my albums here? There's my mobile uploads. Mobile uploads. That's what I want. All right. I am going to show. Let me screen share. The first set of tracks I'm going to show right here. This is the small ones. These are the small ones. These are from my last outing right here. All right. Let me go back to the other screen so I could go through them. All right. In the video, it will post. I did a photo. There's another one up here. There is another one up ahead. All right. All right. That was. You can't make out no toes or nothing in this, but that was awful large impression right there. You can see my boot right here. This is my boot on the left, and to the right of it, you can see the deep impression right here.
Yeah, you putting them nice new boots to work, ain't you?
Oh, I got them waterproof too.
Nice. I saw when you showed
Oh
them.
yeah. I did 3 good sprays on them. I mean, the waterproof stuff I got. Yeah, it's like a silicone spray. Yeah. Now, this is a picture. This is the large one. This is the very large one that I found the same day. I should have put something next to it for scale. but that's the one with the water in it, right there. So, and if you ask me, I find it very impressive. I was excited to find this. I love this track right
Where's
here.
that ledge from right there that's against it?
What's that?
It's like a ledge. It looks like it's up against a little ledge. Is that
Yeah, like a mound of dirt or whatever. Yeah,
see? That's
yeah,
why
it kind of slope.
it's already down. And whatever it stepped in something that's already compacted. That's why it didn't leave a deep
Yeah,
print.
yeah. This is kind of it's slope, and over here it go. Could you see my mouse right now?
Yeah.
Okay, over this way it was actually it goes up a little bit more over here. This is kind of like a just a low dip spot right here. But most of the area in this area was kind of flat. Then it goes up towards the ridge over on the left side here. It goes up towards on a slope or a ridge up over here. So yeah, but yeah, those are my recent tracks right there.
That's cool as shit.
Uh, now wait a minute. Stevie just said something.
I left
Um,
out. I got some tracks now.
oh yeah, Stevie says it looks like a mid tarsal in the one with a boot.
Mm.
Let me go back to I think what he's talking about. Uh, I don't know if he was referring to that one.
Put your mouse up there.
Where?
Right there.
Okay,
Right there. Now go over the opposite of your boot. Go up right
over
there.
this way.
Yeah. See that impression?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It looks like that's where a bone or something impressed there or something, or like the side of the foot.
Well, over here looks like it could be something here, but this is the it's a long way. This is late. Like back here looks like where a heel would be,
Yeah.
and all this. I mean, it looks very wide though. That's I found it interesting. But I don't know. It is weird, very weird. You can see how it's pretty flat there, but like I said, right there, there's no toes right there, so it's kind of weird. But this must be what he's talking about right here. But I didn't. As far as mid tall, I don't. This here when I found this was completely flat. I mean, I didn't see no shape or anything to it. But I mean, as far as like any kind of pattern on the inside.
You know
So
what it looks like, Daniel? It
what's
looks
that?
like it looks like it stepped. It looks like it stepped the same way you're stepping, and then lifted
Yeah,
its foot and stepped down across it to make a cross. It looks like those ridges are the toes, and it's facing.
I think
And,
I
and
see what you're saying, but
looks like it was walking the same way you were walking, the same way your foot's going. But then right there, it looks like it picked its foot up, turned it completely like an L, and set it back down because it looks those look like toes up at the top, and it looks like a
it does.
heel back here right behind your toes.
It does now. Now that you're saying something, I see what you're saying too. Because see, keep in mind that's my left. You can see my right foot over here. That's my right foot over here on the right, and then my left here. Yeah, because it looks like it. The way I'm looking at it, looks like it was a right foot of some sort. You know what I mean? Because look up this way.
Now see, those
This
look
here
like
looks like
toes too.
right, like an arch of where toes were.
You got go up where your mouse is. You got a toe there. You got a toe over next to that. You got another imprint of a toe there, and over there's another
Yeah.
toe. And it comes back down to the bottom there and makes a heel. It
Right.
almost looks like it stepped one way and then took and stepped another.
Right. Huh.
It's just I don't know, just the way it looks. It's kind of strange, but it's just
It is. It's. I mean, like I said, I definitely find it interesting.
weird. And if it did, that could explain why it's not so detailed. It missed the step up when it did that.
Right. Hmm. But my little track and the big track, those are my favorite.
Yeah,
So,
pretty cool.
and like I said, you can see this ain't much bigger than my foot right here. Because right here, you can see yeah,
That ain't no human, man. That ain't no
yeah,
human. Look at that spread.
yeah. They look like if you look at. Well, I wish I could turn a picture around right here, but if you're looking at it like up and down, of course we're looking at it from side, a side view here. But yeah, the toes look like they're splayed almost slightly in an angle outward. The two toes right here look like they're uh, close together. And then you can see where the big toe extends out. Like,
I wonder if that's a birth defect or deformity of it. Or I wonder if it's from
man,
because it looks weird.
yeah, but I could have sworn I had. I'll have to go through my SD cards and see what well, look on. I think I got. They're probably still on my phone, but I know I got other pictures. I thought I could have sworn I took several angles and pictures of them, but so yeah. But let me get on the live chat here because I. It's actually almost. It's about close to 9:30. Yeah, because I got to get up. I've been getting up at 3:30 all week. So, well, starting Tuesday, we had regular time Monday, but then oh wait, yeah, I think Monday was regular. I can't remember. My days are mixed up too.
Got you.
Yeah. Well, at least tomorrow's Friday. I know that much. So, but man, my live chat, my YouTube has been freezing up on me. Like it's real stupid. I have to go completely out of it and come back. Let me see what it's doing. Oh wait, it might work. Nope, it didn't. All right, let me pull this back up. No. Well. Well, I could always go back the other way. I know what another way will work.
You sound like me
There
driving
we go. I
back going.
was trying to use my phone to get to the live chat, but I just went back to the computer to view the live chat that way. Research
Ran off.
What's that?
Are people still watching us, or are they gone to bed?
We had a larger number. We're down to. It has dropped down by half. So yeah. See, Sam, I guess what we use 8 first.
Must be the half I pissed off.
Yeah, I'm just going through the live chat to see what I might have missed.
Show said the Jacob's photograph is a bear. That son of a bitch don't know what he's talking about.
Stevie sent me a message to share with you here. He said, "Tell Shaky he's the man and appreciate our social friendship. Good show with him." Well, that's awesome.
Thank you, Stevie. Appreciate it, bro.
Oh crap, I'm stupid. I'm replying to him on Facebook. Oh, there we go.
Ed McMahon of the show.
What's that?
Yeah, I remember I was told I was the Ed McMahon of the show.
There you go.
But in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, actually, he's still on here. He just commented. I was messaging him through Facebook, and then he's letting us know he's still here.
That's cool.
But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I think we had a great time on here, great discussion, and everyone on the live chat had fun with each other, talking back and forth, and we did some screen shares. I want to thank you, Stevie Strings, for providing those pictures that we were able to share with, that you were able to share with us. Yes, hey, John, awesome. Stevie said you're the man, but no Ed.
Damn it, man.
Again, I'm going to throw it out there one more time, ladies and gentlemen. And Steve Strange, feel free to tune in tomorrow night. We will not be on YouTube with a live podcast like we're doing tonight. But tomorrow, October 14th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be on and the Squatch Zone Radio. We have two guests that will be with us. We'll be talking, discussing Bigfoot with them, and learning any information they are willing to share with us. So yeah, the link is on my Facebook timeline. For those who may not be familiar with it, I believe I have shared it on Google. I know Nincompoop, he does not get on Facebook. So I will be sure to make sure I share the link on Google Plus. It is shared on my Twitter. You can find me and follow me on Twitter under ECBRO98. Um, and if you have not done so, feel free to subscribe to YouTube channel ECBRO98, same channel you're watching right now. Um, anyway, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Shaky. How about you?
I think it's gonna be a good show.
Absolutely.
Show.
Um,
Nah, man, he's pretty on it. Zach's got a lot going on out there in Illinois, so
yeah, him and his group, they seem like they've been getting out there quite often now. So,
made an honorary member.
I heard this. Yes, I heard this.
I'm happy. I'm proud of that shit. That's cool as hell.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, the start of tomorrow's show, like we normally start up, we're gonna try to get right into it. We'll have some chit chat there before we bring on our guest, and then we'll get right into that. Hopefully, he has no issues getting on, because he will be getting on directly through his computer, not his phone. So he'll be connected through that way. I need to touch base with him, make sure he has a headset to get on through there, because when you go through your computer, if you listen in directly through the site, you need to provide me with the email address so I can send you the invite through the radio show page, my account directly. That way you could get on and have the direct connect option. So, um, but meanwhile, there is a call in number on there. So anybody who wants to call in and speak with our guest, the call in number is there available. Without looking at it, I don't know it right offhand, which let me see if I might be able to do this. Everyone, bear with me. Before we go off air, I am going to try to share that information. Um, yes, I could tell you that right now. I'm pulling it up right now. Let me go to the studio setup. Yeah, if anyone wants to call in, if you click on the link itself, you will you'll see the information and everything. The guest call-in number for tomorrow night is area code 602-753-1963. Again, that is 602-753-1963. If you have a question for the guest tomorrow, again, we have two guests. The first hour, we have Mr. Buck Nye from Canada. And yes, Stevie, you can call. Absolutely. Yeah, you could call. The call-in number is 602-753-1963. If you want to call in and speak to our guest that we'll be interviewing tomorrow, Buck Nye at 10 p.m. And we're going into the second hour with Zach Starrick from Illinois. And Buck, like I said, is from Canada, Ontario. So. I'll be watching the live chat tomorrow on the radio show, and again, we'll be taking callers in. So, anyway, I hope everyone has a great night. I'm glad you guys tuned in tonight to listen to us. Steve, Shaky, do you have any last words for anybody?
Nah, man, I just want everybody to have a great evening, awesome day tomorrow. It's Friday. Enjoy your Friday, and I hope to talk to y'all, or at least know y'all are listening tomorrow night.
All right, thank you guys, and
Questions, or forget anything, or need a number again, you can message me through Facebook, or just hit Daniel back up, and we'll get the number to you if you need it.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, thank you guys, everybody, and don't forget Squash Zone Radio.